What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Will, and I'm back with another episode of the Inspired Geeks podcast. Yes, we're trying something a little bit different here. I'm actually going to be doing more YouTube videos, and gameplays and all that fun stuff. So this is actually the first of that series or new content that'll be coming to the podcast. Also, random side note: your boy just graduated. I got my master's degree in television and film producing, so I'm excited. Yay. So I have more free time I can now dedicate to the podcast and just put out more content for you guys. And I continue to just thank you all for the support. I know the audience is small and we haven't been uploading as much as I would like to, but I thank you all for sticking in. Willie and John appreciates it. So let's get right into it. So today I'm actually going to be talking about the Avengers game made by Square Enix and talk about my time with the beta over these past couple of weekends as the game gets closer to its release next week, September 1st, for those that bought the Earth's Mightiest Edition and the Deluxe Edition, and then September 4th is the general release of the game. Now, I have the Deluxe Edition pre-ordered, so I will be playing on PS4 next week on September 1st. Now, on to my thoughts of the beta. Overall, short and sweet. I really enjoyed my time with the beta these past couple of weekends. I really think that Square Enix has crafted a game that could be very fun and very addicting that could be played for years to come. I'm a huge Marvel guy. I love the Marvel universe, the comics and the movies. As you can see, I'm a huge Iron Man, Spider-Man, Black Panther guy. So I really love that universe. I love the characters and everything about it. So, to give you guys a little overview of the Avengers game, it's made by Square Enix, and it's described as a game as a service, live service. I mean, so basically, it's always constantly evolving. The developers are planning to add content for free for the next couple of years. So that's really exciting for me. They're adding new heroes, new story missions, similar to Destiny. What Bungie is doing with Destiny, games like The Division and the ill-fated and often criticized Anthem. Which if you play that game, that was just that was something. No hate here though. If you enjoyed Anthem, that's fine with me. But I just wanted to give you an example of what the game is like. It's a third-person action adventure game, always online game like that. The premise of the game is actually it's an Avengers game, and it's set in San Francisco. Picks up right when the Avengers are having this big celebration, on Avengers Day, and this young girl Kamala Khan, who eventually becomes Miss Marvel, is attending, and the event gets attacked by this mysterious terrorist organization led by Taskmaster from the comics, and basically all hell breaks loose. And ultimately, the Avengers get disassembled. Captain America seemingly dies in the attack, and people get infected with this gas virus that turns them into Inhumans. And the teenage girl Kamala Khan gets infected, and she now has superpowers. And she's kind of the main character of the story, and you get to experience the Marvel universe from her perspective in the single player portion of the game. I really enjoy. I really think that's an interesting take, with having the humans involved, and aim at advanced ideas mechanics. MODOK as the main villain. I think that's really cool. I really enjoyed in the beta the few story missions that I played in the beta. I really love the attention to detail and the little Easter eggs that they threw in for the Marvel Comics readers. Having Kamala Khan as the entry point I think, is brilliant. Just being able to explore the universe and hear her geek out about being an Avengers fan herself is really cool. The little nods, like finding the guitar that Pepper gave Tony in the comics, Thor's different hammers, little references to certain storylines and events. I love all that stuff, and I think that's great. And I had a big old smile playing it. Other things that I really, really liked about the game. Um, as you all know, the trailer was released last year at E3, and it got a lot of criticism for the character designs. And the Avengers didn't look right; they looked a little weird. Specifically, Black Widow. I'm not being sexist here. As you can tell, I'm not the best looking guy in the world, so no shade here. But Black Widow looked like Lord Farquaad from Shrek, and it was like, ugh. So the character just didn't look right. It didn't look like the Avengers, and the game just didn't quite hit the mark for a lot of people. A lot of people had concerns about the gameplay and everything. But I'm happy to say, Square Enix took those complaints to the heart, and they actually updated the character models. They all look great. The graphics and environments look great. I also really enjoyed the voice acting. Uh, Other pros for me is that each Avenger feels unique and fun. So this game has an insane amount of customization, gear. The characters all have specific branches that you can unlock gameplay wise. So if you want your Hulk to play a specific way, if you want your Hulk to be this smashing monster rolling through dudes, you can play him that way. Or you can customize him to be a ranged character where he's throwing rocks and another character goes in close for the close quarters combat. Or you can take to the skies as Iron Man and do aerial combat, or you can upgrade his different repulsive blasts and do different things. Not Natasha Knight, Natasha Romanoff. Uh, she can Black Widow. You can upgrade her guns and batons and stuns and all those fun things. Captain America, also fun to play. I love bouncing the shield off of dudes. Same with Thor. You can throw Mjolnir. I can't pronounce Thor's hammer. Thor's hammer. Why am I mispronouncing words and names today? My God. I'm just excited about the game. About the game. But yeah, those things are great. I can see myself customizing those characters. You can spend hours just looking at the different gear and the different attributes that you can unlock for each character. It's not just a button master that'll get boring. Like there's some real strategy and depth that is in the game. Also, I love the enemy variety. The enemies are not just generic enemies. You have to confront each one with a different play style in place. So if you want to play as a Hulk, you just can't smash a guy. You gotta kind of think about it and pick your and time your attacks. That's really dope to me. Also, another positive that I played in the beta, the boss battles, really creative and interesting. The boss battle with Taskmaster and Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, was really interesting and engaging. It mixed QTE moments, but with combat that you had to kind of think about it, and it's in line with the character of Taskmaster. That's cool. Also, you get a boss battle with the Hulk and the Abomination. Again, that was also a very fun boss battle for me. So I really hope Square Enix keeps that up in the full game. To my complaints, and then I'll talk about John's complaint. John is he couldn't make it tonight, but I will read through his thoughts as well. My complaints are the mission variety. I am worried that the game will get a little bit boring. From the beta, a lot of the missions were very repetitive. They were go to point A, fight these waves of enemies, rinse and repeat. Even though the maps are huge, they were open world. There's loot to find. There's a lot of cosmetic things and gear. That's all great. But for me, what turned me off about Destiny and the Division was that the mission variety wasn't there, and the missions just got old and stale. Even though it's fun to play with friends online, I'm worried that I'll get bored, and I really hope Square Enix uses the Marvel universe to its full potential and add some really engaging story missions and mission variety that keep things fresh for years to come. I'll give this a pass because it's a beta, but the matchmaking did not work for me during these past couple of weekends. I was only able to play like 3 matches with friends and randoms on the PS4 because the matchmaking just did not work at all. I'm a little bit concerned that it's so close to launch date that they may not fix it, and I feel like launch weekend next weekend is going to be buggy. So Square Enix, please, please, please fix the servers. Make sure it's smooth, because I'm concerned, or I have to play solo, which you know isn't quite as fun as playing with friends. But those are my complaints. And now, my boy John, our thoughts are actually very, very similar. Uh, his thoughts are pretty much the same as mine. He also agrees that the character models look a lot better than they did last year in 2019. He thinks that the games gives him a lot of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 vibes, which is very cool. Again, he also likes the point system, and the fact that you can upgrade the characters in specific ways and play in certain ways. That's really interesting to John. He also thought that the mission variety was lacking, but also that the enemy variety was the enemy variety was also well done. And they were actually challenging. And he actually was a little bit more bold than I was. He played on a higher difficulty. So he says the game can be pretty brutal, especially when you're playing solo. So he's pretty, excited about that. He also loved the fact that you can take some progression from the beta into the full game next week. Like you get a name tag or something from linking up your Square Enix account and logging into the full game. Some a few little perks that's cool to him as well. He really is excited for future characters like Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Falcon, Bucky. He really hopes those characters are introduced, and I agree with John there. I really hope those characters are introduced. And again, Square Enix really opens the whole Marvel universe, and adds some crazy and fun things. And games like this allow non-comic book readers and to experience what us comic book readers know about the Marvel universe. So I really hope that they really take the time to show it some attention and love and care, and more people maybe pick up comic books and read it, because the comic book industry definitely needs all the support it can get. You know what I'm saying? Again, he also thought the boss fights were amazing, and he also liked the attention to detail in the environments. Some of his John's cons for the beta. He says the beta, like I was just saying, he thought the beta was a little bit glitchy. He said the matchmaking was, taking forever for him to play into a game. Um, he also, thought the difficulty was actually a little bit too brutal. And he said, but that adds to the strategy element, which he kind of enjoys. He also says if you're playing solo, he really wishes that Square Enix would add the ability to swap between the AI controlled characters. So kind of like Ultimate Alliance, where you can switch between the characters if you're playing solo. I also think that's a good idea, and I hope Square Enix implements that post-launch. But yeah, that was all his complaints. Like me, he says he would give the beta an 8 out of 10. I also would give the beta an 8 out of 10. I'm really excited for the full game now. And I really just, I'm really excited for the future for this game. Like I said before, I'm a huge Marvel guy. Square Enix seems to have a strong passion and love for the Marvel universe. And this game, as a live games as a service thing, where they're going to keep updating the game with free DLC expansions and story packs, and adding new characters from all corners of the Marvel universe. This could be a huge game that people play for years, like GTA Online and um, all those other games. So super, super excited. I really just hope that the game lives up to the hype. I will be playing next week. I will try to play with some of you guys, or live streaming on Twitch next week as well. Also, random note: if you are a comic book creator, you're a cosplayer, or you're a fellow nerd, and you're just looking for a platform to be a part of, please reach out. We are really trying to grow. We really want this to be a community thing. Community has been really welcoming and positive to me, and I just, again, I'm so grateful to be a part of this community. I know we're small and we're growing, but you know, you're more than welcome to be a part of this chat with us. Also, I will be on my good friend Chris's YouTube channel, Nerd in the Sun. I will be collaborating with him, so check that out. I will link that in the description as well. And just stay on the lookout. We're planning to do a lot more content, really grow this thing and have a lot of fun. So please stick with us, like, share, subscribe if you feel it's earned. And thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys in the next episode.